everybody. Look who it is. He is from Impact Wrestling, WWE, former wrestler. He is the man, the legend, Heath Slater. Hello, Heath.
How you doing, Heath? My man? Hello.
Now,
did you wonder why we were reaching out to you?
I don't know.
Well,
I had no idea. It was one of those things to where I saw the message, and I live here in Charlotte and everything. So I was like, heck yeah, man, I listen to the station. I'll get on there and talk a little bit.
So you don't know any history about this show as it relates to you?
Oh, what happened?
I figure you must not have known since you actually decided to be interviewed by us. You must not have known.
Oh my goodness! Am I about to get roasted or something?
No,
I'm about to get roasted in here. It's me.
Okay, good.
Does our producer Max look familiar to you? We call him Squatch. Does he look familiar to you?
Man, I saw so many people. Hold on, Max. What'd you do to me, man?
We was at the gym. I went to Club Fitness. It was like my first week there.
Oh,
yes.
Yes, I do. Yes, now. Man, you came up to me like you were 8 years old. Oh, Heath, you Heath Slater, right? Oh my goodness, I can't believe, man. He charged me down in the bathroom. He charged me down in the bathroom, man.
He remembers. Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, did I go too far? Did you not tell them that part?
No, I told him about it. I told him about it. I put myself on the spot and I told him about it.
He said it like it was normal, and we had to tell him that following a guy into the urinal was probably not the best time to meet the guy.
Oh!
I mean, bathroom, headphones in, working at the gym, eating, there's a few things you can wait on. Nah, man. Oh, Maxwell over here, man, he was excited.
He was. He couldn't wait to tell us the next day. And then he told us the story. We're like, wait a minute. Dude, did you follow him into the bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not true, Heath. From what we heard, he followed you into the locker room and then waited politely outside the bathroom door for you to finish peeing, which he determined you were peeing. It was just a number one. It wasn't a number two.
No, yeah, that was a number one. But yeah, locker room, bathroom, it's all
together.
Connected, It's whichever it was, but hey, it was nice meeting you, Maxwell.
I do appreciate it. I mean, he was cool about it because he easily could have flipped out because I knew it was like a really awkward moment for him. So he easily could have flipped out, but he was really cool about it. So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, he was very, it could have gone.
No need to flip out, man. There's too many bad people in the world, anyways, man. You need some good in this world. Hey, I'm happy that that people still actually know me out there, and they're like, oh shoot, Heath, man, I like what you used to do. Like I respect that. Like I like that.
Well, we got a storyline.
Place you have been recognized.
I mean, it happens a lot. Bathrooms. That is honestly, it's not the first time, being real. Yeah, I remember one time when I was in Nexus, this group over here, we were over in, I think it was Rome, Italy or somewhere. But the way that they had the dressing room set up is where you only had one bathroom stall. And that was it. That was all you had. To where if you really had to go, you had to sneak up into bleachers and go to this little back cut back there that the fans would use. So me and my buddy Wade Barrett, we snuck up in there and we're hurry up and using the bathroom. And this dude comes in and he's peeing too, and he looks at him like we're in our boots, knee pads, trunks, Dexter shirt, no regular clothes on at all. And he's peeing beside of us, and he looks, he's like, oh my goodness. And he takes his phone out ready to record and take pictures.
Yeah.
And we're we're like, no, man, what are you doing? Quick. But yeah, that happened to us. Yeah.
I feel a little bit better now.
Way lightly, way less than what I've faced before in the past.
Well, we have a storyline now. If you want to do, bring Max in, you have a storyline. Max can be the heel that chased into the bathroom, and you can jump off the turnbuckle onto his wherever you
do a moonsault off the urinal on him.
Well, yeah, you gotta have a name there, Max. Yeah, you'll be the urinal cake.
Oh my gosh.
Moonsault Max.
Right. When did you first start learning the trade, Heath?
Man, when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. My grandfather was the biggest wrestling fan, man. He would watch it all the time. It was on television. He would take me to like the little shows around town. I mean, I lived in a small little town called Pineville, to where, I mean, literally maybe 600 people lived there. Like, everyone knew everybody. It was just how it was, you know. But he would always wrestle with me, and like then that led to me and my friends watching wrestling, you know, in the backyard. And then after that, you know, you get into high school, and then I'm playing like real sports and everything. And then it's like, at that time, pro wrestling wasn't as cool as it was, but they still had like cool stuff happening. But like, I would have to go on the weekends, like early in the mornings, and sneak in backyard wrestler with my friends, just because I didn't want all the other kids to know I was doing it, you know, but I had a love for it to where I was still wanting to do it. So, I mean, I'm old enough to talk about this now. I'm not no teenager. I can get it all out. Not embarrassed at all anymore. But
right.
we would have a good group of, I don't know, 8 to 10 guys, and we would have a trampoline and put tires and mattresses underneath it so it wouldn't bounce as high. And we would go to the flea market and get fireworks so we can have pyro and stuff.
Wow, you had a whole show.
Oh, it was like a D- show, but we tried, you know. But yeah, after all of that, like, I went to college. I played a little bit of basketball for a D2 school, and found out I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And then, you know, you're 18, 19, you don't think about grades. Well, I didn't, you know. I just was like, yeah, party, let's play ball at party, this is great. Realized, you know, you can't do that. You have to, that's why it's called student athlete, not athlete. You know, you got to be that student first.
Right.
I was young and dumb and didn't realize that. Thank goodness. I had 2 of my friends in West Virginia going to Atlanta, Georgia to train at a wrestling school called WWA4. And it was just one of that shot in the dark type of things where I had to go home, tell my mom I flunked out, which was horrible. Yeah, that was horrible, man. It was bad. She did everything she could to get me in college, and then I just threw it away, you know, and it was just, it was horrible, you know. I think I made it up to her by now, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope so. But I remember telling her, and she was like, well, what are you going to do with your life now? Go to the coal mines, work on the railroad. What are you going to do? I'm like, Mom, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. And she looked at me like I was insane. Like, what? You know, she's like, I don't have time for this, because she was at work. I went to her work and told her. I didn't wait till she got off work. No.
What was that intentional so that you knew she wouldn't act out too much on the job?
I don't know if it was. I just felt like I had to just tell her, you know. Yeah. I had to tell her. So by the time I got to Pineville, it was still 3:00 or something. She's at work, and I just drove right up there and let her know. But then again, that might have been like the case now, because now thinking about it, she did have 2.5 hours to like let it breathe a little bit. So yeah, so I went to my grandfather and I told him, and he shook his head and asked me, you know, what I wanted to do and stuff. And then I told him I wanted to wrestle also, and he was 100% for it. He just was like, yes, you can do this. I'll support you in this. Like, he was just like, go, please get out of West Virginia, go and chase the dream that you want to do. And then he had to convince my mom. And then, I don't know, about 6 months later, I went down to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue this little childhood dream that I was wanting to do.
So and that's where you went from being a Miller to being a Slater?
Well, it was still Miller sometimes. And then it became Sebastian. And then it was Sebastian Slater. And there's a lot of name changes in there, and until I finally settled down to Heath Slater.
Did your grandfather see you in a professional match?
Man, he didn't get to see none of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it was sad because 2009, 9 days after my birthday, he passed away with he had cancer, and it was a pancreatic, and it just hit him. And once it hit him, bro, it just took over. I mean, it was like, I remember going home, seeing him, and, he just was a shell of himself, and it was just sad. But the funny thing is that, like, I made it to the developmental system. Like, he knew that, like, I was there, but I wasn't on television. So I made it to the developmental system. He knew, like, I was in the mix, like, all right, it's just one more step, he'll be on TV. But then he passes. But what's crazy is that when he passed, it was like he became my fairy godfather, dude, doors started opening. Like, I tell everyone this. It was like he went up to God and was like, God, need to talk to you, man. There's this kid down there, and he's busting his butt to be a wrestler, and he just needs a little bit of help, And I really believe that. I don't know what to say, but it was like I got the titles that I wanted, in developmental. I was the first developmental guy down there to hold every title. I was one of the longest reigning title holders. I started getting booked on Raw and SmackDown, like the live events and dark matches, not on television yet, but I'm getting a taste of it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it was just like, they came and said, hey, we need 8 of the best that we have down here, and we're going to do a show called NXT. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, I was the second dude on the list. So I'm just like, what is going on here, And it was just like doors were opening for me.
That guardian angel was wrestling for you.
He was. He really was. And it hits my heart. Like, I get upset a little bit about it, like emotional, just because, like, I feel it and I know he did that for me. So
I'm getting emotional just hearing you talk about it. It's like,
yeah,
he's a picture of
it. Did your mom come to see you? Do you remember when your mom first came to see you live to do a big event? Did she come to one of the big ones?
We were in Charleston, West Virginia. That was the place that we always went to watch wrestling when I was a kid. Like, WCW would be running up there. WWE would run up in Huntington, but never in Charleston. So I was always a WCW fan. So the day that I got to, wrestle and everything, we was going to Charleston, West Virginia, and it was just like my MSG, like the Madison Square Garden, It was just oh crap, I'm walking down the aisle, and I was like, I sat there, I sat there, I sat there, I sat there, watching all these wrestlers when I was young. But I remember my mom coming to the first show, and it was her, my uncle, my stepfather, my aunt, like I got everyone front row tickets and everything. Like, they all came up. It was a nice moment, very cool moment. And then like the third time I got to go there, like my oldest girl was like 2. So I have like an amazing picture of me like on the guardrail holding her up, about to kiss her, but the lights behind me hitting it, so you can see like a silhouette. Like
it's like the Lion King or that not like
like Simba.
Yeah, the wrestling version.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's like one of my favorite pictures over the years that like was taken at Charleston also. So yeah, it was a good moment, happy moment.
I think you already know that one of your biggest fans is the producer of our show, and he has been so excited. We even noticed that, as he was sitting here, he was like, I am about to, what do I do? He was so nervous. Matt, what would you like to ask Heath right now?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask him, how did it feel to get that big break on Raw? Because like you said, you was in NXT to begin with, but I remember the segment where you guys, the Nexus, you attacked John Cena. So how did it feel to actually get that big break and actually be on national television in that moment?
It was one of those things where they always tell you up there, never get excited. Because I've had times where they're like, Heath, you're going against the IC champion Miz. Y'all got 5 minutes, make it a good match. And the next thing you know, it don't even happen. So you're just like, what's going on? Like, come on. Like, there's only 5 minutes in the match. Let's do it. But when we got that break, it was crazy because, like, when we were in NXT, we were in a competition type thing. And then we were getting eliminated from the competition, until there was one guy left and he won it. So next thing you know, when we're getting eliminated, they weren't telling us nothing. We were just we were getting sent back down to developmental being like, are we going to get fired? Like, what's going to happen? Like, you had no idea. But what was great is that once NXT was over, Wade Barrett won. So we're all like, man, we're back down here now, you know, I don't know what to do. But then they all called us to Miami, Florida for Raw that night.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, everyone wear your suits, but bring your gear. And we're like, bring your gear? Okay, cool. You know, like, we don't know nothing.
Oh, wow.
We showed up in Miami. We walk in. We put our bags up, this and that. Next thing you know, Johnny Ace, he's like head up behind the scenes. We call him Johnny Ace. He comes over. He gets all 8 of us, brings us to Vince's office. So we're just like, oh, no. You know, like, you doing get rid of all of us or something.
Was that your first time in Vince's office?
No. But it's one of those things like, when you go to Vince's office, it's either something really good or really bad. So it's always 50-50. Like, you're just nervous. You don't know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So and you got to remember, like, we've only been on NXT. We haven't really made it to the big show yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things where we're just like, man, hope we don't get fired. You know, it was fun being in front of all these people, like this type thing. We walk in, there's Michael P.S. Hayes, Arn Anderson, Vince, John Laurinaitis, Dean Malenko, like all the agents and stuff. And we're just sitting there, and Vince is like, guys, I want to say thank you for everything. You know, you guys have been great. I just want you to know that we are going to start a faction tonight with all of you guys. And next thing you know, he gets in his little briefcase and he hands all of us, like, we used to wear these armbands that look just like that, like just little ends on it. He hands us all one, you know, and we're just like, what's going on? He was like, I want y'all to go down to the ring tonight and I want y'all to destroy everything in it. And we're just like, what is going on? Like, our minds are blowing. He was like, I want y'all to be like a pack of lions, like a gang of wolves. I want y'all to be like hyenas, just killing everyone around you, you know? We're just like, okay, all right, we're not getting fired, so this is good. So then he says, the producers will get with y'all and lay down the groundwork. He was like, but just do me a favor. Don't touch a fan and don't touch a camera, because those cameras are like $200,000 each. Like, they're up there. So he was like, don't touch no cameras and don't touch a fan. So we're just like, that's it? You know, he's like, that's it. So we're just like, shoot, like, we're having free range. So then we go in the back. Agents are getting together, talking it over, this and that. Then it's time for the show, the dance. It's the main event. And you got to remember, none of the guys in the back knew what was going on. Like, all the guys that worked there, they kept us away in our own little room, hidden, to where we can't talk to nobody until it was that time. They cleared Gorilla, cleared everywhere, you know, no one was in the back. And they snuck us in, put us in our spots, had Wade come down the ramp, all of us coming through the crowd, like circling these guys. Boom. Next thing you know, we jumped the barricade and we totally beat the living hell out of everybody. And I'm not kidding, man. When I say we beat the hell out of everybody, like, it was rough. It was one of those times where they were like, lay it in, make it look real, make the people believe. And we destroyed anything and everything that was in there. Like, there's pictures that you can go back to where everyone still to the day still talks about it, and it happened 12 years ago. So it was one of those things in wrestling to where, like, I can say, yes, you know,
yes,
like,
that's me right there. I'm responsible for that destruction.
Yes.
I mean, when you actually see fans crying and kids crying and then throwing sodas at you when you're walking to the back and it's like smacking you and going everywhere, and all you can do is give them a stare like, yeah, what? That's all you got? You know, like, it's one of those things to where it was a moment to where, like, I mean, they still talk about it. I mean, we had Christmas ornaments, for God's sake, you know, like, they had so much merchandise with that on it, you know. So,
that's great.
Look, here's that. That's what I looked like.
Look at that glamour boy.
Oh, the hair, sir.
Oh yeah,
Oiled up.
So that was me as 20. I don't know. I was 27, maybe. You know, 20, 26, 27. Yeah. Little stud with no facial hair.
Just think, all this time you've been stalked by one Maxwell Squatch Truesdale from the Matt Ramona show.
I love it.
Man, we
We'd
really
like to know
appreciate.
if you're going to be in any bathrooms around here anytime soon.
I mean, he might see me at the club fitness again. Who knows? Maybe we can stand beside each other in the urinals and talk.
Oh man.
Hey, if we do that, we gotta get a picture. You gotta post that up. Let's be like that.
Guaranteed.
Do we have to?
Yes.
We don't have to. We don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Only Matt.
Oh, yes, we do.
Heath, thank you so much, and we apologize for how you must have felt being stalked into the bathroom at the gym by Matt.
I just think it's so funny that story got me on here to talk to you guys. Oh, that's great.
We're gonna do it again, less creepy next time.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Thanks, Heath. Appreciate it, man.
Man, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Good job, Max.
Later, Max.
Thank you.